Welcome back to Heart of the Woods. This is near the end, I'm pretty sure. Tara has been kidnapped by Evelyn. The others are getting ready to save her and stop Evelyn once and for all. We're currently entering Tara's perspective. And, yeah. Let's do this. I don't even have time to be disoriented before I hit the stone ground. Hard. I struggle to pick myself up and stand, but before I can, footsteps approach. Evelyn's, of course. I'm hauled to my feet. She does it with one hand. She's way stronger than she looks. Hello, Tara. As expected, we're in the church. She drags me over and throws me onto the altar. I try to resist, but my limbs won't move. Oh, hey! Thanks for the ride. I'm scared. More scared than I've ever been in my whole life. But I don't want her to have the satisfaction of knowing it. She walks away, out of sight, although I can still hear her close by. They're gonna come for me, you know. We figured out your whole plan. They're probably already on their way. Let them. I'll kill them too. Her tone is casually disinterested. She can't even give me the courtesy of pretending she cares. I wish I could move my head to see her, but I can't. I can't move any part of me other than my mouth. It's always such a nice feeling to return here. Such a sense of renewal and energy. Although I imagine right now you don't feel the same way. I don't know, I'm digging the ambience. I'm about to die and I'm making jokes. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? We had a plan, one with a good chance of working. I know that Mads and the rest won't abandon me. They'll just switch it up a little. Same as if she'd taken Morgan, like we expected. Honestly, it's probably better for everyone if Morgan's the one who's still free right now. She's less likely to screw something up than I am. Still, it's all I can do to suppress the little voices telling me to be afraid. To acknowledge that I'm going to die, or worse. Really, you should be thanking me. For what? I must have missed it. Because by dying here, you've given poor Morgan another chance. If she runs away now, I have no more need of her. I'll let her live. Of course, if she turns up here without any illusions of grandeur, she'll die along with the rest of them. A chill runs down my spine. Because I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no way she won't come for me. That she won't run away. Still, the way that Evelyn can talk so cruelly about her own daughter makes it hard for me to even keep up my attitude. You really don't feel anything, do you? You raised her, you live with her, and even after all that, finally you get something right. I don't feel anything for her. You got something wrong, too. Élan halts and then stalks close to the altar, close enough that I can see her wildly dilated pupils, the razor's sharp points on her fangs. I didn't raise her. I cultivated her. From the minute she was born, I prepared her for this fate, to be a worthy vessel. How could I have known that a much more useful one would arrive at my doorstep, just days away from my ascension? Now she takes a step back, letting the moonlight fall across her. She arches her back like a cat, enjoying it. She raises an arm, and I'm lifted into the air like a circus performer, suspended from nothing. My arms are snapped to my sides. I struggle as hard as I can, but I still can't move at all. I can't even flail around. Still, her words piqued my curiosity, and I'm dying to know what she meant. Since I might be dying anyway, I may as well ask. More useful how? She grins. Because this night is very, very special. For years, centuries even, I've whiled away my time here in Eisenfeld. It's amused me to no end. But I've grown bored of it. I desire to see more of the world. And while any human body would do, I suppose there's merit in one such as yourself. One with influence and fame. I don't even know the words to convey how disgusted I feel. Is that enough for her to steal my body, but she's supposed to pretend to be me? Pause right here. Tara's shirt was the full moon when she woke up. Now it's back to the crescent moon. That's, Little continuity error there. Pretty big one, actually. But oh well. I think the horror I must feel showed on my face, because she smirks. As she does so, her skin starts to shimmer and shake, like there's light just underneath it. A thin thread of ethereal matter, like the spell that she used to bring me here, ekes into existence. It stretches between her hand and my chest. The second it comes into contact with me, I feel like all of the strength is sapped out of me, like I'm being sedated. I hope I'm only passing out, and not dying. I'm not sure if the two feel any different. It would suck extra hard if I was dying though, because then my last sight would be Evelyn sneering cruelly. Just before it all goes black, she manages to get in one final taunt. What an ironic fate, don't you think? You came out here seeking magic, and now you found it. Oh, Morgan, okay. We're up and ready to go near the instant the terror disappears. It's a shock, of course, but no one that messes up all our plans. I walk to the front door, which is still open and banging in the wind. I'm going to fucking kill her if she hurts Tara! Tara will be fine, she's tough. Besides, we got a plan, right? After a long moment, I nod. Right. Maddie turns back to face Abigail, who's half hidden by the bedroom door. Are you sure you want to go, sweetheart? You can stay here. Of course not. There's no way you're doing this alone. I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Me too. I'm a lot nervous, actually. We'll be fine, though. If she keeps saying that, it'll be true, right? I wish I could believe it. I wonder if Maddie even does. I scoop a Gilladura and wait outside. We need to leave, now, but I force myself not to rush them along. A minute later, they follow me outside. We run. The landmarks pass us by without a pause. Why don't you use the teleportation magic? We hurry out into the woods. Despite some wind and fog, the night is relatively clear. Are you sure you just want me to take you to the church? I could have us there in a second. I know, but she can't know about your powers yet. Oh yeah, that's fair. If we arrive too fast, then Evelyn will know something's up. It would be nice to take the ease away like that, but we can't do anything rashly. Not if it might hurt Tara in the long run. Right. We have to wait until the soul is out of its body. That's when we'll send the signal. Do you know how long that'll last? Like, how long it'll be exposed? I have no idea. I hope it won't be instant. You hope? I nod. I wish that I knew more, I really do. But it's magic. And magic is rarely predictable. It's the only thing I can say with confidence about it. I'm not sure what more I should say. This is where we'll have to part. Even though I'm making the rest of the journey on foot, Maddie and Abigail will need to use magic to get to the fairy clearing. Before we do though, there's one last thing I need to say. Maddie? I know there isn't really time, but I need to say this, since I might not get another chance to. Gladura nuzzles my shin, reassuring me. I'm sorry. That doesn't even come close to describing it, but it's all I can say. For bringing you out here, getting you involved in all of this, I never imagined any of it would turn out this way. So if you still hate me, I understand. I just wanted you to know. It feels good to have the words out there. I've spent so much time apologizing these past few weeks, but it's still a bit of relief every time. Morgan? Well, first of all, I accept your apology, but I promise I never hated you. It was my fault for acting like such a bitch when we first got here, and as for everything else, well, some of it might have been Tara's fault, but a lot of it was my fault too. So let's get this over with. We'll save Tara, take care of Evelyn, and then we'll all go home. Simple, right? I just nod again. I'm not sure I can talk right now, not without crying, and I hate crying. I wish it was that simple. I hope it will be that simple. But it rarely is. I swallow the lump in my throat. I have to say something. Oh shit. Yeah, so every choice in the game has been Morgan's choice. It's pretty cool how, like, she's like the actual kind of player character in a way. Like you don't see that coming. I mean, it took 6 hours to get to the first choice. Let's see, there's only one way I keep it good. This clearly makes it seem like Morgan would offer her body again. I'm leaving Ice from taking Tara with me. Yeah, that's good. I'm not alone anymore. We can do this together. Like, this is definitely one I'm going to go with. But I'm going to make a save file just in case. I don't know if this game has multiple endings or not. I haven't heard anything about multiple endings. But yeah, let's go. You're right. You're right. It's simple. I take a deep breath, clear my head as best as I can. I've been waiting my entire life for this. My entire bloodline has led me to this point. A chance to end all the pain I've endured, to save someone I love, to make sure the countless people who carried this burden before me will be avenged, to make sure that no one else will get hurt. How it goes from here isn't just up to me, it's up to all of us. Around us, the wind quickens and grows in intensity. The bright full moon looms high over us. One last time, I nod at Maddie and Abigail. Okay, let's go. Okay. This is hardly a plan. It's barely more than an idea. It relies far too much on luck and everything going our way. But it's all we have. The furious winds tell me that I'm in the right place, as if there were any doubt. When I approach the door to the church, they blast open, as I'd expected. I don't waste any time, I rush in. Tara floats in midair, suspended by invisible magic. She lies prone, with her arms and legs apparently locked in place. She looks dead. A colorful cloud floats above her, with a long tail spiraling back towards her body. I don't even need to be told. I know that's her soul. It thrashes about, as much as a cloud can, but is seemingly locked out. Below, Evelyn stands, hunched, with her back to me. A trail of malevolent white magic tethers her to Tara. Moonlight pours through the window behind them, piercing Tara and illuminating Evelyn. When she hears me enter, she stands up straight, her back crackling obscenely. She's disgusting. Morgan, you came. Her voice isn't the voice I know. It's raspy and inhuman. It echoes around the church, louder than it should be, dragging itself from corner to corner. I knew you would. You always do. Her body spams and twitches as if electrified. Still, her voice remains steady and flat. Of course I came. You're not taking Tara. You're not taking anyone else, ever again. She laughs, but it sounds like a joke. There's no humor in it. It's inhuman. You know how many times I've heard that before. Countless. And yet, here we are. Predictable. You humans always are. Curiously so. You have all this freedom, but don't know how to use it. Pity, 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 pity. Soon I'll have taken the body of your friend. You will be dead, and I will be far, far gone. You see, I've got tired of playing pretend out here in the woods, so I've decided it's time for something new. And Tara is going to give that to me. Oh shit. You'll still be a pretender. Evelyn seems to notice Gladura for the first time. She licks her bloody lips. So you're here too. Fitting. Evelyn's gaze narrows, then her eyes widen once again. She points imperiously at Gladura and I, and the stone walls of the church rumble in response. I can tell. You're still no queen. No more than the brat to stand beside you. You're still powerless. Tell me, who's the pretender now? A brick detached itself from the ceiling, plummeting down straight towards us. I dart out of the way, barely managing to avoid it. Gladura yowls as I squeeze her harder than intended. You're just as pitiful as she is. What did you think you could do? How did you think you had any chance? Or is it just human nature to try, even if you're doomed to fail? The moon is at its peak, or close to it. If she waits much longer, she won't be able to complete the ritual, and she'll have done her job for us. Maybe she knows this, because she turns away from us once again. I have to stop her. I push my legs forward, but some invisible force pushes back. Like moving through quicksand, I can barely inch forward. Something's protecting her. Inch by inch, I have to keep moving. A pulsing ball of magic starts to form in front of Evelyn, and she focuses intently on it. The light from the moon falls directly on her. Her skin reacts to it, bubbling and boiling like hot wax. It must be agonizing, but she doesn't react. Maybe she's beyond pain. Gladiator leaps out of my arms, making her own way beside me. Her breathing is ragged and labored. Neither of us wastes energy on more words. I don't know what I'll do if I reach Evelyn. I just know that I can't sit still. The coalescing ball of magical energy continues to grow and grow, taking on a sinister dark hue, the color of a moonless night, the color of an empty void. It starts to spin, crackle, and shimmer. That's when I realized this isn't for the soul transfer. It's too strong, too unstable. Before I even finish my thought, a tendril of malevolent energy suddenly shoots out straight towards me. It moves too fast for me to react. It pierces me like an arrow. Godless, fiery pain burns through my veins. My whole body stiffens, refusing to move. I can't even cry out. Each individual atom of my body feels like it's being tortured, like a burning needle is being driven through them. I want to scream. I want some sort of release, but I'm not even granted that mercy. Behind the pain, there's a rising, mounting horror. I'm going to die here after all, aren't I? My vision starts to go black. I welcome oblivion. At least then, I won't have to hurt anymore. I try to move my eyes to fixate on Tara. If I'm going to die, I at least want my last sight to be her, even like this. I can't even manage that. All I see is Evelyn. She says something, her lips moving, but I'm deaf to it. All I can hear is a deep, resonating, ringing sound in my ears, like some perverse bell toll. Then Evelyn's eyes go wide, wider than before. The air behind her shimmers and shakes, just like her magic spell. Empty space tears itself open and she's sucked backwards like a ragdoll. In an instant, the magic and the pain is gone, leaving behind no trace. I fall forward, my momentum having been locked in place with me, and just ahead, Tara crashes to the ground, limply. I stagger to my feet, not trusting my body to support me, but it does. The complete absence of pain is a shock in its own right. I feel like I should be experiencing the after effects, but I'm not. All that lingers is the memory. Gladiator scurries over to me. Morgan, are you alright? I think so. I feel fine, actually. What happened to Evelyn? She licks the back of her paw for a second and stops. I'm afraid that I panicked and sent a signal for Madison. I tried to help you, but I couldn't. My own power is still weak, not nearly enough to match Evelyn's. There's no changing it now. None of this matters if Maddie isn't able to stop Evelyn. It was going to be unlikely to begin with. It looks like we're in a hard fight. Gladiator must know as much too. She pats back and forth, her tail twitching in agitated fervor. I stroke her fur. Still, thank you. Can you help me check on Tara? Of course. We rush over to where Tara lies prone on the cold floor. Her soul is nowhere to be seen, which I hope means a return to her body. I cradle her as tenderly as I can, for a sign of pulse or breath. I gently prop her against my chest, stroking her hair. Please be okay. Please. 2 tears drip down my face, landing on hers. I didn't realize I was crying. Gladiator lingers beside us, nuzzling her face against Tara's cheek. She's alive. I can feel that much. Is she okay, though? I don't think she should experience any lasting effects from the magic. It's the fall to the ground that worries me more. That's true. She fell from pretty high up onto a stone floor. I wipe away the tears that fell on her, stealing my power to prevent any more. I trace my finger across the curve of her jaw, down to her lips. They press together, just a bit, to kiss my finger. Tara? Tara, can you hear me? I'm afraid to let hope spring into my heart again. Her lips move, just barely. I can't hear you. There's a soft, blessedly warm gust of air against my face as she sighs and forces her eyes open. I said, I'm dumb as bricks, babe. It'll take more than a head trauma to hurt me. I pull her up into a hug, and she pats my back. You're okay? You're sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I wipe my eyes as we face each other again. I was so scared. I wasn't. I knew you'd save me. I don't deserve someone like her. Is there any way we can get to Mads? She might need our help. We both turn to face Galadura. I can take us there, but I don't know how much use I'll be once we arrive. Terra moves the question, and I place a hand lightly on her arm. Galadura is barely holding on as is, and her guilt at her guilt at her inability to do more is palpable. It's all up to Maddie. Let's go. There isn't much time. I help Terra to her feet, and she immediately winces, hissing in pain. Are you okay? I'm fine. I guess you hurt my ankle in the fall. She's able to stand up on her own, giving me a shaky smile. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do right now. At least it's only her foot and not her head or back. With a graceful jump, Galadura hops into my arm once again. I stand next to Terra, who leans against me for support. With one hand, I support the cat. With my other, I take Terra's other hand in my own. Then I nod. We're ready. Maddie, okay. Ooh. Just going to have a sip of my tea. Okay. Let's do this. My heart pounds as Abigail and I arrive in a fairy grove. This place has been the setting of most of my favorite memories here in the forest. I could never guess they would be here where everything ends. I can feel the fairies, my subjects, watching from close by. They don't show themselves, but their presence are like tiny little pressure points on my consciousness. They're just as tense as I am. Closing my eyes, I reach out to the forest, asking for its aid. It still hurts, badly. It laments the terrible pain that it suffered. I promise it'll be okay. It's my duty as queen to ensure this. I hold the forest in my heart, and I promise to rid it of the moonsick one. Abigail and I walk to the water's edge, nervous as tears of my stomach. Galadura signaled could come at any time. I have to be ready. High above, the moon offers its light to us. The whole lake is dyed in its silver glow, shimmering and refracting and amplifying. Moonlight caresses my face like a lover, warm and invigorating. I indulge in it, letting it sink through my skin, my roots, my forest. Every little second could be crucial. How do you feel? She holds my hand loosely in hers. Nervous, in a way I've never felt before. Nothing else in my life has ever been this important. It's never been life or death consequences like this. What if I screw up? I expect to see fear reflected in Abigail's face as well, but when I turn towards her, she looks serene and unbothered. I have complete faith in you, Madison. The fairies said that not just anyone could be queen, but you could. They saw something in you, too. We're all putting our trust in you. The whole forest is, and our friends too. We wouldn't do that if we didn't believe in you. I wish I could use some magic spell to boost my confidence. For all the power that I hold right now, it sure feels insignificant. So far, everything has come naturally. Moving through the woods or interacting with its denizens is easy. But to use my magic against another being, that's something else entirely. But I can't let that kind of attitude overwhelm me. I can't be defeated before it even starts. Abigail's right. Everyone is counting on me. I can't let them down. Thank you. For what? For believing in me. She leans forwards and kisses my cheek. Always. Always. That word has meant a lot of different things to me lately. My concept of forever kept shifting and changing. Even now I'm not entirely sure what it means. I suppose after tonight, I will. You know, when we were here before, there were times that I wish it could last forever. Where it was just peaceful, and just the two of us. But now, more than anything, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready for us to make new memories, together. Nothing would make me happier. When you came into my life, I felt that it would be fleeting, like a nice dream that I might someday look back upon and smile. I didn't dare imagine nor hope for anything more. But now, well, perhaps you've made an optimist out of me after all. I kiss her forehead, then on her nose, and then her lips. I love you, Maddie. What? No! God damn it, I don't know why I keep adding words. I saw the capital M and more, and for some reason it's defaulted to the capital M in Maddie. That made no sense. Yes, I love myself. I love you. More than anything. I love you too. More than anything. Together, we face forward. And that's when I feel it. A cold flash of foreign fear. It stabs my head and the idyllic scenery. I recognize the origin immediately. Galadura's panicked signal. I step away from Abigail, clearing a space. I force myself to breathe evenly as I reach within myself, mentally searching for the magic. I call upon the power within me. Unlike before, when it blossomed and flourished at my request, now it lies dormant and afraid. I understand. I'm afraid too, but it's no time to be afraid. Using my authority as Fairy Queen, I coax the magic forth. The church presence aches like an infection, and I promise the forest that I'll help heal it. The magic ripples through the woods. It sets upon the church, finding Evelyn easily. I can't see her in my mind's eye, but I can feel her. Feel her hatred and scorn and fear. So I'm not the only one who's afraid then. That's more reassuring than anything else. If she detects the magic that's coming for her, then I can't tell. At my will, the tendrils of magic wrap around her like vines. Then I stick my hand out, my physical, actual hand, and I pull. The result is immediate. Just above the surface of the lake, a ripple disrupts the air as a massive rift opens up. Within seconds, Evelyn falls forward through it, collapsing in a heap to the shore. It's wrong though. She's still in her regular body. It's not just her vulnerable soul like it should be. I take a fearful step back. Why did Galadura send the signal early? My blood runs cold. What if something happened to her and Morgan? What if she wasn't too early? What if I was too late? I try to rally my thoughts and concentrate on what to do. She quickly picks herself up, wild eyes casting back and forth. Her appearance is monstrous. It finally fits her personality. Her gaze falls on me and her lips curl in hatred and disgust. So it's you! I see that even Death didn't want you. And now here you are, stinking of snow and pine. Stinking of them. You wear their clothes, you bear their crown, but you are not one of them. She lumbers forward, her steps seeming pained. She's either dazed from being pulled here, or from the effects of her own spell. But I can't count on that to last. You're right, I'm not. Just like you'll never be human. I need to buy myself time while I try to think. Human? Is that what you think I want? I will be more than human. A gust of wind stirs up, likely at her calling. The trees shake and I plant my feet firmly to keep myself from losing balance. I feel the barriers in my mind freeze and break away. She's gone, and the world spins around me. The moon shines down on the lake. I search for a presence with my mind, but I can't find her. Like a fish that slipped off the line. I need to calm down. My heart races as my head begins to ache and throb. You're so fragile, so easily damaged, so easily broken. The biting wind intensifies, threatening to sweep my crown away. Abigail shields herself with one arm. Evelyn, however, remains unaffected. What's wrong, little child? Why not make this easy on yourself? I can make it painless for you this time. Reality and illusion blur and blend, and the fabrics of my vision tear. She takes another step forward in my mind, shattering what little focus I had. She's almost close enough that if she lunged forward, she could grab me by the throat. Instead, Evelyn scratches at her own neck, her nails drawing blood. But she doesn't need to notice. High in the sky, the moon watches over us, indifferent. I can feel its light sustaining me, the same as it bolsters her. She turns to look up at it, shivering. Do you know why you were the first to go? Because you were the easiest. All alone, off in the woods. Tragic accidents happen all the time out there. Really, it's my daughter you have to blame for all this. It's a shame you won't get another chance. I try to find her again with the magic, but I can't. It's like she isn't even there. Where her consciousness should exist is nothing but a gaping hole. A void that feels familiar somehow. Her eyes glow red as she faces me again. They're not, they're blue. There's visual inconsistencies. Looking for me. My consciousness is immediately assaulted. My head pounds as I feel Evelyn enter it like an intrusive thought. With every push and pull she rips at my soul. My magic quakes under her power, flickering and fearful. I try to reach out and grab it, pull my own consciousness and strength into me, but every time I get close, it's yanked away. Unrelenting, overwhelming, die, die, die! It echoes and reverberates in my skull. I choke, momentarily forgetting how to breathe. Every single thought, every single idea, snatched and destroyed. I can't even see it anymore. I knew it! Your gifts are wasted on you! Queenship is wasted on you! What good is power if you don't know how to use it? All of you are the same. A searing pain in my head forces me to my knees. Your friends couldn't save you then, and you can't save them now. An unseen force shoves my head upward, making me look at Evelyn. A peculiar ringing blocks out all other sound, except for her words. I'm deaf to the wind, to the forest, to Abigail. See what you've done, and despair. I love the little, like the nails shooting out of her hair. That's really cool. She gestures imperiously towards the empty space between us, just like the portal I used to bring her here, and then the hole in space rents itself open. Through it, I can see a glimpse of the murky stained glass window of the church. Then it appends, unceremoniously spilling out my friends. Or at least their bodies. Nausea hits me at the sight. Tara's there, her body limp and broken, arms and legs splayed at an obscene angle, blood trickles from her mouth beneath her open, sightless eyes. Morgan is also there, in a heap, though her body isn't as mangled as Tara's. A grisly wound stretches from her ear, across her face and down her neck, blood stains the sand beneath her. Even Gilladura lies there, motionless, though her back is turned to me. A small puddle of water forms beneath her, spreading as she seems to melt. I scream. I want to run towards them with clutch at my heart, but I'm pinned in place. How? What went wrong? Was this why the signal came too early? I should have left them alone. I should have gone with them. This is my fault, isn't it? Evelyn's attack on my mind ceases in order to let me truly comprehend the horror before me. As much as I fight her, my heart gives way to what Evelyn asked of me. I despair. Morgan, okay. I actually expected Abigail. Our feet touch solid ground, and Tara immediately loses her balance. I grab her shoulder to keep her from falling. Gilladura pants heavily. The Maddie have taken a heavy toll on her. Maddie, Abigail, and Evelyn on the far side of the lake. Only Abigail seems to notice us. Even from a distance, the terror on her face is clear. Come on, they need our help. Tara takes one step forward, then falls to the ground, clutching her ankle. Shit! Just then, Maddie screams, in pain or in horror. A sick feeling in my stomach. All three of us turn to look, although there's nothing new to be seen. I know from experience that doesn't mean she isn't in pain. Abigail is tugging on her arm, but Maddie doesn't react at all. She must be beyond even feeling it. And just behind, Evelyn. A familiar-looking ball of sinister light is forming, sparkling in the moonlight. Its tendrils joint and jag with familiar hunger. Maddie doesn't even know. Evelyn turns back and looks at us. A sadistic grin on her face, the tendrils of magic shift and a feeling of impending doom fills my lungs. I look back at Tara, who scowls at her foot as she tries to move. There's no way she'll be able to. I don't have long to act. I turn to run, to confront Evelyn myself. I don't know what else to do. Everything has gone wrong. All that matters at this point is that Maddie and Tara get out of here. If I have to die for that to happen, then so be it. I hesitate, just slightly. My leg wavers as I try to take a step forward. It's enough for Tara to grab my arm, grimacing through the pain. Where are you going? To stop her. Tara's grip tightens. Not without me, you aren't. Tara, you can't. Neither can you. I'm not letting you throw yourself away. Not again. Something soft paws on my leg, and I look down to see Gilladura staring up at me. Both of you. As weird as they are, this isn't any time for sentimentality. Every second we spend taking is a second wasted. Morgan, the moonlight! I glance up at the sky, but I don't notice anything different. The moon shines down on both Maddie and Evelyn, surely invigorating them both. However, it's obvious from the situation that Evelyn is better at using it. What about it? It makes magic stronger. With enough of it, and our magic, we can stop her. Sorry, why did I give Gilladura Morgan's voice there? I'm sorry. It makes magic stronger. With enough of it, and our magic, we can stop her. Whose magic? Yours and Maddie's? Her eyes glisten in the moonlight as she stares up at me. No, Morgan. Mine and yours. What? I can't keep the exasperation out of my voice. We don't have time for her to mess around. Galdura nimbly climbs up my legs and torso, my heavy sweater protecting me from the pain of her claws. She perches on my shoulder. Love is its own form of magic. It makes the impossible possible. And I know you have plenty of that. I turn to face Tara, who's been listening to every word. Despite it all, she gives me an encouraging smile. I don't know anything about magic, and I'm still figuring this love thing out, but I know I believe in you, Morgan. Go kick her ass! I breathe in deeply. I could try to stop it myself. Even if I had to die for it, I would. What Galdura says sounds crazy, but everything about this is crazy. And I don't want to die. Okay. I'm putting all my trust in Galdura and in Tara. Just like I know they're putting their trust in me. I won't let them down. With one arm, I help keep Galdura in place, and as fast as I can, I run, heading straight for Maddie and Evelyn. Now do you understand? Everything that you've done still wasn't enough. Even cheating death itself. Now join them. Barely on the periphery of my awareness, I can see the magical energy coalescing behind her. The spell that's intended to end my life. I need to react. I need to move out of the way, or do something. But I can't. I'm frozen. I can't tear my gaze away from the sight of Morgan and Tara. I couldn't protect them either. I couldn't save them. Maybe I deserve this too. I wasted a second chance I was given. Maybe I... Another presence cuts through the haze of my mind. Give me a sudden spark of clarity. Madison! She must have been calling my name for a while. Madison, it isn't real! You aren't alone! Her words cut through my despair like a hero's sword. I lock eyes with her and I welcome her into my own head. She's so vibrant, so present, that she forces out Evelyn. Everything that I was feeling just moments before, all of the fear and horror is swept away, and it's replaced with only one thing. Love. She helps me make myself again. Time itself has stopped. Or rather, it doesn't exist here. Right now, we're the only two people in the universe. I'm aware this is only a vision and not reality. Yet somehow, it's more than that. Perhaps it's a different kind of magic. We're surrounded by light. Stars flicker, watching us to see what will happen next. I witness both myself and Abigail. But it's not just a version of ourselves that are here and now. Rather, it's our future together. The two of us. Happily laughing, smiling, growing old. It takes me more than an instant to understand. She's the one imagining it, sharing this with me, the same way the fairies did. This isn't just a wish or a possibility. It's a promise. But for my mind and in the real world, I take her hands. I don't worry about Evelyn, because in my heart, I know that we've already won. I look Abigail in the eye, and I say just two words. I do. I focus on the feeling of her hand against mine, and the knowledge that she's with me. I steady my breathing, and face back towards the scene that Evelyn's conjured. Only now do I notice the imperfections there. Morgan's sweater is the wrong color, Tara's hair clips are the wrong shape, even the markings on Galdura's fur are different. You liar. I should have known. They were just more illusions. It's always illusions with her. I almost fell for the same trick twice, but it won't happen again. Before my eyes, the fake image flickers and then dissipates, vanishing entirely. For the first time, Evelyn takes a step backwards, shaken by my resolve. The spell she had charging collapsed into nothingness. Oh damn, the spikes go through her body now. She shudders yet again, harder than before. She shakes so hard that it looks like she might fall apart. But she doesn't. And when she faces me again, there's still murder in her eyes. Evelyn takes a decisive step forward and outstretches her hand towards me. She opens her mouth, bearing rows and rows of teeth at me. I feel Abigail press into my side and the vision disappears. Just then, I spot Morgan running towards us, Galdura in her arms. The real Morgan, with the real Galdura. As they approach, I feel Galdura's thoughts colliding with my own. She sends me an apology for the signal, conveying in an instant everything that had happened. Then, she sends me a request, along with two words. I'm ready. Manny! The lake! Even Evelyn turns to see what Morgan's talking about. Then, without warning, Morgan turns and dashes into the pond with Galadora, still in her arms, submerging them both in the water as they vanish from sight. Tara skids to a stop, watching the spot where they disappeared as the shimmering surface of the pond scatters moonlight. I understand. For what I hope is the last time I drop the magic that the fairies have entrusted me with, I coax it out of every nook and cranny of the forest, from the frozen ground under our feet to the highest reaches of the tallest trees. I implore the forest to help me. Within an instant, I can feel its response. From the fairies, hidden just out of sight. From the forest spirit, waiting forlongly in its grow. From Alma's mother, her child taken from her unfairly. From Morgan and Galadora, putting their fates in my hands. From the very moon itself. I move with the easy confidence of doing something that I know I was born to do. All of my short time as Fairy Queen has been building up to this moment. I step forward, bolstered with energy, and no longer afraid. I feel out the gaping hole where Evelyn's mind should be. The black, vile reminder of the existence she forsook and the lives that she stole. I find her like a roach, skittering and afraid, and I bind her. I'm sure it sears her like fire. She shudders and shivers and quakes in the moonlight. Moon sickness. After that, I let go. I release it all. All of the magic and power was given to me. I let it flow out of my fingertips on its way back into its rightful owner. I can see the arc of the magic as it descends into the lake, where I know Galadora is waiting for it. Then, as the last vestiges of it leave my body, the vision of it disappears, and the warmth of the moonlight vanishes, leaving me cold. The thousands of voices and consciousnesses quiet and then go still, leaving me all alone in my own head once more. My dress returns to its proper form, like just a jacket, and the flowers wither and shrivel away into non-existence, not death. The crown of my head crumbles to dust, brushing past my ears before it's blown away. At the same time, Morgan resurfaces and swims to the shore where Tara's waiting for her. The moonlight is endlessly refracted through the water, where it shimmers and sparkles. Beneath the surface, I can see her. Galadora crests back through the surface, her true form restored as she's accepted the mantle of Fairy Queen once again. A shining dress the color of fresh-born snow adorns her, glittering as brightly as stars overhead. Water streams down her in little rivulets, some turning to ice and frost on the way. She's breathtaking. My dress was pretty, but it didn't suit me nearly the same way the role of Fairy Queen seems to suit her. Even Evelyn is speechless. Galadora closes her eyes for just a moment. Her breathing slows almost imperceptibly, but just enough that I involuntarily step backwards. Her movements mirror the ones I performed just moments ago. Galadora's stance is more experienced, more graceful, but I recognize it. She's calling upon the forest magic. Then she raises one hand high. The moon seems to glimmer at her fingertips. In one swift motion, she slices downward, moonlight trailing behind her. It pierces Evelyn like a spear, fatal and true. Her whole body convulses as her moon sickness wreaks its terrible havoc on her. Her flesh bubbles and rolls as it tries to escape the dying spirit within. It's a gruesome sight, and I look away, turning instead to Abigail. She holds me tightly. As I watch Galadora approach the shore, I can hear the buzzing of the fairies, just out of sight, as they start to return to greet their queen. I don't even have to be connected to the forest to know that it's rejoicing. It's over. We've won. I stand there on the shore, hardly daring to move. I keep expecting Evelyn to reappear, more powerful and furious. Or worse, for all of this to be an illusion as well. But it isn't. Not a trace of Evelyn remains, neither body nor soul. Galadora stands on the ground where last was. What? Where she last was, I guess. The Fairy Queen's eyes are closed in mourning. Not over losing Evelyn, of course, but over losing the fairy she had once been. I look down at myself, in my regular clothes once more, at my flesh and blood body. I shiver a little in the breeze. It's a miraculous feeling. Then I turn and pull Abigail towards me as we wrap our arms around each other in the biggest hug imaginable. Neither of us say anything. We don't have to. From the side of the lake, Morgan and Tara approach us. Tara's limping, leaning on Morgan for support. They both look a little bruised, but not too badly off. Abigail and I walk over to meet them. You did it, huh? You really did it. Yeah, we did. It's still sinking in. Morgan? Tara? Are the both of you alright? Yes, I'm fine. I'm good too. Messed up my ankle when we got here, but it's nothing too bad. And your head. Hey now, I already said not to worry about that one. For better or worse, it really is impossible to face Tara. She could have died several times within the last half hour, and here she is, cracking jokes. I really admire that about her. Are you sure you're right, Morgan? You kind of just jumped into a lake. And it was totally badass. Yes, I'm positive. Thank you for worrying about me, though. That's what family's for. The two of them exchange a smile, as they do. I look up to the sky once again, and for just a moment I close my eyes. In my head I offer a word of thanks to the forest, for its protection, and for everything it did for me. A chilly breeze blows in response. A loud buzzing fills the air, and we watch the swarm of fairies as they rush towards us from the trees. I step back to stand beside my friends as the fairies arrive. Joy is fluttering above Galadura's head. A bright smile illuminates her face as her people welcome her home. They don't speak. The need for human language is gone now. They don't acknowledge me at all. I strain to try and spot Hey or Free or Anan, but I can't. I'm sure they're there amongst the rest of the hive. They don't pay me any mind at all. Maybe that's for the best. So this is like really cool? She and Morgan are both watching, somewhat awestruck. When you get home, Matt, you gotta write an autobiography. Either that or the best fantasy novel either. What? Either that or the best fantasy novel either. What? Oh. I don't think this either is supposed to be here. Either that or the best fantasy novel. I'm sure you can make millions off the book deal. I wrap my arm around Abigail. I'm good. I've got everything I need right here. Abigail grins, putting her arm around me in turn. Tara groans and makes an exaggerated gagging noise. Okay, if you're gonna be that sappy all the time, then Morgan interrupts whatever the consequence will be by leaning forward and kissing Tara on the lips. That shuts her up fast. Then we'll just have to outdo them, right? For maybe the second or third time ever, Tara looks like she doesn't know what to say. But in a good way. As we all laugh, Galadura approaches us, the rest of the fairies forming a cloud over her head. So, it's over. There's much to be done. The forest will need time to heal and recover. It will take years, but it will happen. Thank you, all of you. Mere words cannot express how grateful I am, how grateful the forest is. Especially to you, Morgan and Abigail. Your family has suffered so much over the years. That's right. Galadura was there with Morgan throughout everything. She's the only one who can even come close to really understanding what Morgan's been through. It's over now, though. Just like the forest. It'll take time to heal and recover. But we'll be okay. I know you will. Galadura faces away from me, looking out towards the forest at large and towards the waiting cluster of fairies. Her domain and her people. What about the folks back in Eisenfeld? What'll happen to them? I imagine they'll recover from the glamour rather quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even remember Evelyn's existence. There might be some difficulty as they figure out who will manage their affairs. She turns back to us now, smiling. In particular, she looks at Morgan. But I don't imagine any of you will be around to concern yourself with that. Right. At the same time, Morgan and Tara reach for each other's hands. They smile at each other, meeting halfway. And you, Abigail, are you looking forward to leaving? Certainly. I've heard so much about the rest of the world from Madison and from Tara already. I can't wait to see it myself. Although I'm a little nervous about what were they called? Airplanes. Yes, those. I do hope they're safe. She looks to me for support and I put my arm around her. He'll be fine, I promise. She She'll have a lot to get used to in the modern world, but it seems like she's just as excited to experience it as I am to show it to her. Even Morgan will have some acclimating to do, after spending her whole life with Eisenfeld's limited amenities. It's fine though. As Morgan mentioned, we have so much time. The Fairy Queen smiles at us again. I see. If you don't mind, I'd like to show you just one last bit of magic. Something long overdue. The four of us look at each other and nod in assent. Lead the way. Galadura takes us around the pond to the far side, right to the boundary of the bare ground and covered snow. She kneels down, scraping together a mound in her hands. While the rest of the fairies watch from above in reverent silence, their usual keening muted for now. The ball of snow in Galadura's hands is shaped and smoothed out as she alternates between scraping and patting it. Soon I realize the form is taken. That's one of the fairies. Galadura then gathers several other materials from the forest debris. Pine needles, a soggy leaf, a couple tiny pebbles, and even more objects that I can't see. She arranges the pebbles on her snow sculpture to form a face. Then, she deftly weaves together a few sodden pine needles and ties them around the back of the head. I realize they're supposed to be glasses, or at least an imitation of them. Madison, it's you! As Galadura wraps the leaf around the snow fairy, I realize that Abigail's right. It's not an exact replica, of course, but it's definitely supposed to be me. Once it's complete, Galadura lifts the tiny model from the ground, holding it in her cupped hands like a treasure. For a second I think she's going to hand it to me, but she walks right past and heads to the shore of the pond. With her back to us, she lifts her arms, holding the tiny sculpture aloft. The moonlight shines down on her, illuminating the snow in her hands. The air around them starts to glimmer and sparkle, the light of the moon refracting off of nothing. Galadura's whole body glows with a soft white aura that's brightest in her hands. Then the little fairy in her hands flutters to life and flies into the air. As just 2 beats of its fragile wings, it turns and joins the rest of the swarm, where it's immediately accepted into the fold. The Fairy Queen turns back to face us, the sparkling magic now calm once more. A tribute in your honor. This was the first birth of our people in over a century, ever since I was first bound. Through this little one, your memory will live on in these woods. Thank you. It's an honor, really. It's a bit strange to me that she'd choose me as the model rather than Morgan, whom she knows much better, or Abigail, who's far more intimately connected with the forest. After all, it's not like I did a whole lot as Fairy Queen. Still, the gesture is touching. I watch the little fairy for as long as I can, until it's assimilated into the rest and impossible to keep track of. Tara's positively green with envy. Before you leave tomorrow, will you come join me for a final time? We have one last farewell to make. She looks at Abigail as she says it. Abigail's eyes widen, and then she nods. We got a late train, so it's easy to do. You already got us ticket home? Hell yeah! One of us had to be on top of things around here. She smirks and I playfully smack her shoulder. Going home. Just the thought of it is exciting. The prospect of returning into our normal lives without having to fight for them. By now it feels like a dream. But for once, one that I know will come true. Once again, I wake up before Abigail does. The bed isn't even close to big enough for both of us, but it didn't stop us from getting a full night's sleep. She lays nestled against my side, breathing peacefully while I contemplate the sunlight streaming in. No matter where Tara and I travel to, I'm always looking forward to going home. That's especially true now. It feels weird to imagine that this time tomorrow I'll be on a plane over the sea. We still have a long day ahead of us, though. Our train doesn't depart until the afternoon, then it's hours to the city. At least it'll be much more cheerful than my trip out here, when it was just Tara and me. For as long as I can, I just remain in bed, cuddling close with Abigail. It's so nice to be able to just turn off my brain and relax. No deadlines, no threats, no flickering in and out of existence. Peace. It isn't too long before her eyes flutter and drift open. She yawns, cuddling even closer to me. Without moving the rest of my body, I turn my head to face her and our noses brush together. Good morning. Good morning, Madison. How'd you sleep? It was the best sleep I've had in 200 years. She smirks and I laugh too. That joke never gets old. Fitting. Abigail moves in even closer, draping herself across my arm and shoulder like a cat. Her hair falls across my face and I blow it away with a playful puff of air. What about you? Better than I have in months. It's true. We both passed out pretty quickly after getting back to the cabin last night. Even the excitement of the day's events couldn't keep us up. Would our bed in America be this comfortable? Oh, it's even better. Although BT, our cat, really likes to sleep up there, so you might have to fight him for the spot. BT will have to find someone new to sleep because I don't want to share you. Yeah, good luck there, Abigail. As someone with a cat and a girlfriend she's living with, yeah, you don't get to choose. Like, no, the cat will decide for you. She shoos away an imaginary cat with one hand. I love her. Maybe he'll like Morgan. She's gotta be used to having cats around by now. Galadura counts, technically. Our home will be so lively, won't it? Absolutely. I can't wait. Me either. The sound and smells of Morgan and Tara preparing breakfast wafting through the bedroom eventually stirs us back into gear. I pack what little clothes I brought while Abigail gets dressed. Good morning. Meowdy, y'all. Please don't ever say that again. But good morning. Hello. What are we eating today? Wow, you don't waste any time, huh? I've wasted a lot of time not eating, and I fully intend to make up for it. You're in luck. I brought over all the food I have, all of the food I had at home, so there's plenty. She sets a platter of pastries on the table, and Abigail immediately dual wields a blueberry muffin and everything bagel. Nice. Wait, you already went all the way to town and back and then made breakfast? Yes. Isn't she amazing? Morgan blushes. That might be the first time I witnessed that. She is. Crumbs litter the table and the aftermath of Abigail's enthusiastic eating. I've never met someone so delighted just to be eating food. Have as much as you like. I'll bring the rest with us on the train. I'm not sure we're gonna have to worry about leftovers. Abigail grins in agreement. After we finish, I help take all the dishes back into the kitchen and set them by the sink. Morgan starts washing them right away. I'm not sure who I'm washing these for, but it feels wrong to just leave them dirty. What'll happen to this place once we're gone? She shrugs. I'll leave the key in my shop. I don't really care beyond that. It's nice to not have to. She wipes the plates dry with a towel, and then we go back into the living room. The rest of the cabin is already immaculate. The blankets are folded, the furniture is realigned, everything is in its place. I'd even say it's tidier than the day we arrived. I give my bedroom a final once-over, looking for anything I may have left behind. Of course, there isn't anything. I shut the door behind me. The action has a sense of finality to it. Everyone else is waiting for me in the living room. So, we're going out into the woods one last time, right? Yes, I need to say goodbye to a friend. Whoa, you know someone else in the forest? Is it Elvis? You're never gonna let that go, are you? Who's Elvis? Don't worry about that. Tara's just being dumb. Aren't I always? You got me there. Anyway, you'll see when we arrive. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Plus, I want Abigail to be able to share a peaceful farewell. Especially remembering what you told me before about the Fairy Queen and the Forest Spirit. We head outside and into the forest. For the first time since we got to Eisenfeld, it's not that cold out. In fact, it's even a bit warm. I wonder if that's coincidence or if it also has to do with something with Evelyn being gone. Neither would surprise me. I haven't gone very far when Galadura suddenly appears, popping into sight just a few feet away. Her arrival is silent. No smoke or sound or anything like that, just 1 second. It's empty, and the next, she's there. Good morning. Morgan and Tara both flinched at her sudden arrival, but Abigail and I are unaffected. I've been waiting for you. I could feel the four of you enter the forest. That's awesome! So your fairy sense started tingling? Galadura tilts her head, perplexed. Tara really needs to learn her audience out here. Anyway, if you're prepared, I'll take you all the rest of the way. It would take far too long to walk. The five of us join hands, Galadura standing between Morgan and me. Her hands are cold, but not unpleasantly so. In the time that it takes for me to blink, we teleport to the grove of the ancestral trees. Even without being one with the forest, the magic in this place is palpable. It soaks into the earth and trees, and the air is sweet. We approach the ancestral grove with careful, quiet steps. The destruction that Evelyn caused is more prevalent here. Streaks of ash still blemish the surrounding trees, painful reminders of the ones she slew. Just ahead, I can see the clearing where I know the forest bear will be. Galadora steps aside, gesturing for Abigail and I to continue on. We do. Then the spirit comes into view, and I can hear Tara gasp from behind me. The spirit looks even weaker than the last time I saw it. If previously it looked old, now it looks downright ancient. Its once terrifying eyes have lost their luster, its wooden body even more knotted and warped than before, and it's so small. Is this your friend? Without turning around, Abigail nods. For all these years we've been together, it was the forest spirit who saved my soul, but Evelyn came for my body. Abigail reaches out a hand, going to the forest spirit's side. Like every time before, I also keep my distance. Abigail. I know. It's time, isn't it? Galadora nods. The forest spirit peers down at the girl by its side. I'm sure that it loves her back. Abigail takes a single step forward and Galadora moves to her side. Then, the Fairy Queen raises a palm and presses it against the forest spirit. The sensation of magic is familiar to me by now, even though this time it's flowing past me, not into me. Galadora calls life from the surrounding trees here, where life is more vibrant. The ground ripples under our feet, surging with unseen power. The sunlight beaming onto us feel warmer. Everything is gloriously happily alive. The forest spirit's twisted forms start to change and morph. Not in a painful way like how Evelyn died, but more peaceful. Jagged shards of woods soften and retract. Its two legs start to stitch themselves together into one solid trunk. Its arms stiffen, reaching outwards and upwards, slowly regaining the colossal height that it once possessed. Roots appear and bury themselves underground as the forest floor itself rises to accommodate. I remember now that Abigail mentioned before that one of the Fairy Queen's duties was to help the forest spirit pass on. And with Galadora missing for so long, it was impossible. I wonder how many decades or centuries this one had existed before meeting Abigail. No wonder all the trees here have such vibrance. No wonder this is the center of life in the forest. Just like the process that made me Fairy Queen, there's a little pomp and flair to the transformation, but instead it feels intimate and calm. When Galadora retracts her hand and the magic dissipates once more, everything is still and silent. Abigail falls to her knees at the base of the newborn tree. The spirit's great eye slowly slides down the trunk, a final magical motion until it's level with her face. Despite the tears in her eyes, Abigail manages to smile. Hello, old friend. Thank you for everything you've given me, not just company, but another chance at life itself. I'll miss you. I really will. More than I'll miss anything else here. I'm sorry I wasn't around much lately, but I hope you know that I was very happy. Even when it was just us, even when there was no one else. She reaches up, touching her hand to the tree just like the Fairy Queen did, except it isn't a regal, powerful touch. It's delicate and soft. She presses her forehead against the tender bark, not bothering to wipe away the tears. And I hope that you know that I'll be even happier now. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be okay. Abigail remains there for a long moment. The forest spirit's eye watches her, as best it can, for as long as it can. Slowly it goes dim. The red light fades to grey, and then to the same plain brown as the rest of the tree. Within a moment, it's indistinguishable from the rest of the forest. Abigail looks back up and notices the change. She brushes her hand across the sightless eye, and then she rises to face Galadora. Thank you. I'm sure you've made its life that much more wonderful as well. I hope so. Tara, do we still have time before we board our train? Couple of hours, yeah. If it's no trouble, I'd like to return to the Fairy Grove one final time. I'd be happy to take you. Tara and Morgan nod in approval. They've both been keeping pretty quiet, although that's only unusual for Tara. Still, I'm glad that she's being considerate for the solemn mood. Once more, Galadora takes our hands and transports us to the fairy clearing. There's no evidence here of what took place last night. While there aren't any deer this time, a few birds are in their nests. All's right and they grow. It's a little strange to not instantly feel the presence of the fairies in my head. I'm sure they're close by, just like usual. But like usual, they keep their distance. As soon as we regain a balance, Abigail wordlessly starts to head for the shore. Tara taps me on the shoulder. Hey, me and Morgan are gonna take a walk. Give you two a couple of minutes. Sure. Thanks. The two of them sets off at a leisurely pace around the water. Galadura goes with them. She and Morgan will surely want to say goodbye as well. Abigail's already down by the water and I move to join her. Her hand grasps mine and she squeezes tightly. She breathes in deeply. I do the same. The air is crisp and refreshing. This place has been so special to both of us that I'm a little bit sad to leave it behind as well. I know that's nothing compared to how Abigail must feel. I don't speak. I'm sure that in her heart Abigail's saying her final goodbyes to this place. I'll let her be the first to speak. We stand there in comfortable silence for a while, hand in hand. I said before that I had come to love this forest as much as I possibly could. But now, when we're about to leave, I realize that I was wrong. Because I love it more now than I ever have before. It isn't that I want to stay, but rather that I never had the opportunity to miss it. And now, on the eve of my departure, I'm sure that I will. I think there's a certain kind of love that comes from having something, but there's a different kind of love that can only come from losing it. To my surprise, she isn't crying. In the past, when we talked like this, it's been accompanied by tears, both joyful and sad. But now, when I look over at Abigail, she looks determined. Determined to be happy. Just because you leave something behind doesn't mean you've lost it. It just means that you have to learn to love it in a different way. When you look back on something and it makes you smile, that counts too. Love isn't just about moving forward. Sometimes it's about looking back. This place will always be special to you, and to me, in different ways. What if I forget? What if someday I can't look back and remember what it looks like? What if I can't remember how it felt the first time we kissed? What if I forget how happy I am right now? Even if you forget, you'll still carry it with you. It's still a part of who you are. It made you the person you are today. The memories aren't what's important. What's important is how they help you grow. We go quiet again after that. I surprised even myself with those words. When I look back, 5 or 10 or even 50 years from now, I wonder how I'll feel about this time in my life. Not just the forest and all the magical things that have happened, but everything that led up to it. Working on Paranormal and all that we accomplished there, all the dreams that I put aside for it, but also the new ones that it instilled in me. I still have a lot to figure out, and feelings to sort through. But now, the future doesn't seem too ominous and scary. In fact, I'm looking forward to it. From behind us, I can hear the sounds of Morgan and Tara approaching once more from their walk. I squeeze Abigail's hand, and she starts to lead me back towards her friends. Come on, let's go home. All aboard! The train conductor yells out his iconic line, and there's a loud hiss as the train begins to move. It feels like something out of an old-timey film, but I suppose that's more than appropriate for how our journey has gone so far. Beside me, Abigail sits with a white-knuckle grip on the seats, alternating between staring out the window and making sure the ground is still beneath her. Across from me, Tara and Morgan sprawl across each other, all pretenses of not a couple abandoned. As for me, I drink it all in, with a smile on my face. Every one of us deserve this. We pull out of the station and I gaze out the window alongside Abigail. On the way in, I remember how scary and foreboding the forest looked, and how it felt like entering another world. Now, on the way out, I certainly won't miss it, but I'm not afraid anymore. I wonder if Galadura is watching us somewhere out there. Hey Mads! Of course Tara's the one to break the silence. How proud do you think my folks will be that I finally got around to adding forged government documents to my criminal record? Okay, there we are. So I've been thinking about this for several episodes now, but I wasn't going to say anything. Because I wanted to wait until the end to see if they brought it up. Like, how the hell are we going to get Abigail into a country when she doesn't exist legally? Like, I mean, I reckon Morgan don't even have a passport, right? Like, that's gotta be interesting, but apparently this is how we solve it. Of course Tara did. God, I love her. I just have to laugh. I can't even be mad at her for this one, because there's no way we're getting Abigail into the country otherwise. I'm not sure how she did it. Maybe that's a brand of magic on her own. What will be the first time we do when we get... What will be the first time we do when we get back? Asked Abigail. Oh. Okay. Oh, you know, we're gonna party. From where her head rests on Morgan's lap, Tara still manages to strike a pose. We got New Year's coming up. Plus Maddie's birthday is the day before. Both Abigail and Morgan's eyes widen. I try to brush it off. Every year Tara swears we're going to go all out for my birthday. Every year she takes like 2 drinks and passes out, or falls out of her bar stool. Whichever comes first. Morgan, Abby, both of you drink, right? I don't know which I'm gonna say. I guess this is Morgan. I do. It's been quite a long time since I have, of course, but I'm certainly partial to it. You both know what that means then, right? Tara's question is met with 3 blank stares. Drinking contest! Oh god, Tara, not again. Come on, you're okay with Morgan and Abby watching you drunkenly sing MCR, right? No, I'm not okay. While Tara launched into an extremely exaggerated version of my last birthday party for Morgan and Abigail's benefits, I found myself looking out the window, watching the world go by once again. There's so much that I'm looking forward to when we get home. Teaching Abigail about the world, going back to school. I'll also do my best to help Morgan take over my duties on the show. Maybe I'll even come back to guest star in an episode or 2. For so long, I wanted the world to slow down. Just a little bit, so I could catch up. Figure things out, figure myself out. If there's one thing that being dead and hearing Abigail's stories taught me, it's that I don't want to look back later with regret. Just like I told her at the lake, we have a lot of good memories left to create. I intend to savor every minute of them. I listen to the conversation, laughing along even while I daydream about the future. My heart is happy here, even if my head's in the clouds right now. Abigail leans into my side, giggling at some joke whose punchline I missed, but I smile all the same. She'll make an optimist out of me yet. If there's one thing we have now, it's time. As for everything else, well, I'm sure the world won't mind if I keep it waiting just a bit longer. And the tears are coming. Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Rachel Gruber. Thank you, Josh Kaplan. Rachel Gruber is the writer I have spoken with on Twitter. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Like, I loved that. God damn, I loved that. It's Cyber Shoujo. I follow her on Twitter as well. Just goddamn. I'm not even sure what to say. Like, I am. Yeah. I have not been this touched by a story in a long time. I absolutely loved it. I loved every second of it. Like, yeah, I could talk about like the like the fact that the script did need more editing. There was quite a number of typos and errors. Like, definitely. Oh hey, this is Aria Limuli. Hello. They're in my Final Fantasy 14 guild or free company. Cryptid for harm in the making of this game. Oh god damn. Thank you for letting me play. Thank everyone working on this. This was oh. What? Whose voice is that? I'm guessing maybe it's Abigail's. We're in Maddie mode, but shit, I wasn't prepared for this. Madison, look, there it is. Abigail reaches out the window to point at the ocean, sparkling in the summer sun. My heart pounds as I hear the pure joy in her voice. The instant the train's pulled to a complete stop, she and Tara bolt for the door. Morgan grins at me and stands to follow them. I'm right behind her. Alright, gang, this is it. Smell the air, feel that ocean breeze, look at those crashing waves. I told you this place was awesome. She looks back at us to make sure we're all as overjoyed as she is. With all her excitement, you'd think she was the one who had never seen a beach before. This is... Her voice trails off as her head swivels around, still trying to take it all in. I silently step behind her and take her hand. She doesn't look at me, but the small squeeze she gives my hand is all I need to know, and she appreciates it. Pretty incredible, huh? She closes her eyes and tilts her head up towards the sun, taking in the summer glow. It's better than I ever dared to imagine. For a moment, I'm reminded of the glow that surrounded her the first time we read together. Was that the first time my heart stopped when I looked at her? It happened so often that I've lost count. By now, I've known her as a human far longer than I've known her as a ghost, but she still got that same otherworldly beauty that she had back then. Thank you, Madison. Abigail looks back at me and smiles. For everything. I know the kiss is coming before Abigail even starts to move, and I'm more than ready for it. I wrap my arms around her and let her lips press against mine, our bodies perfectly pressed together. You were worth the wait. We touch our foreheads together, fingers intertwine. There's no need to say anything else. For once, Tara waits for us to finish before interjecting, but the instant we separate, she's back to her boisterous self. Are you guys coming or what? Morgan puts her arm around Tara's shoulder as she waves us on. Not missing a beat, Tara pushes her long hair to the side so Morgan can kiss her cheek. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, god damn, Morgan looks good in that short hair! And Tara rocks the longer hair too, absolutely. But oh my god damn! Love that! Look! Goals! Right there. Like I know Tara is the trans girl that I've been like just completely just what's the word? Like relating to the most in terms of that stuff, but like Morgan, yeah, picture perfect. That right there. That's what I'm like. That's what I want to look like. Wow. Come on, I'll race you there. You're on. Those two turned out to have a surprising amount in common. Whatever store of energy they both draw from, it seems to be infinite. Morgan and I go at a much more similar pace, although even she's more enthusiastic about going along with Tara's craziness. Love does that, I guess. You go ahead, babe. I'll catch up. Me too. My swimsuit definitely isn't built for sprinting. Abigail gives me a nod and another quick peck. Tara tries to do the same, but Morgan pulls her in for a full-on kiss. When she pulls away, Tara looks completely stunned. Better hurry, Abigail. Don't waste the head start. That's the first time I've ever seen a kiss used to give someone a tactical advantage. I can respect that. Abigail takes off running while Tara blinks away at her daze before dashing after her. No fair! Yes it is, you have longer legs than me. Morgan and I are left in the dust, both chuckling at our overzealous partners. I doubt either of us expected someone so energetic to be such a perfect fit. We should probably go after them. Lead the way. We both take off behind our girlfriends, entering the water and rushing to their arms. I can barely feel the cold of the water as Abigail warmth envelops me. And here I thought you were going to keep me waiting again. We lean in for a kiss at the same time, our lips pressing together in a deep, warm union. Don't you worry, Abigail. I'll always be right behind you. The smile she gives me put the sunlight to shame. I know, Madison. I know. I had to stop my my tears there to compose myself to act out another scene. Yeah, so I should thank all of you for watching and listening to this. It was certainly one of the most enjoyable things I recorded for this channel. If not the most enjoyable thing. And thank you for all, a large amount of kind comments too. Well, a lot of people have been, of course, talking about how much they enjoyed the story. People have been, telling me that, they really appreciate my narration and they enjoy seeing me emotionally react to things as well. So that's really nice. I want to do a reading of the Paranormal free game. And I might, as I mentioned, I might look at the not safe for work scenes and see if they're if there's something I could do a recording of and censor or something. But yeah, wow, just wow. So, all these notes here, yeah. Damn. Actually, Audrey, you gave me a free beta copy and then a friend bought me this copy of my game, so I did not give you money. Beautiful. There was actually a surprising number of CGs for a for a original English language visual novel. Chapter 3 didn't have any though. Damn. Oh, nice. We have guest stars here. Okay, well we gotta look at that, of course. Goodbye, happily ever after. Less obviously the this is obviously, yeah, this is the cover art. I do hope to release a physical collector's version of it. I would love to have that. Promo banner. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. And there's Adirosa. That is. Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this one before. Actually, this is really pretty. That is really nice. Yeah. This one I've seen on Twitter when Audrey shared it. Aww. They have such talented artists at the studio Élan. That's adorable. I am kind of in. Oh, damn, Maddie, nice. I am kind of unsure how to end this video. This has been such an incredible emotional story and just playthrough for me. It's just been absolutely perfect. Oh wait, I just realized. Oh yeah, I just realized that some of the I think some of the guest stars had those arrows. No, maybe I think just because I'm seeing the arrows here when it fades that I thought that they did. They don't. Okay. Okay, yeah. Thank you for watching again. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Studio Élan. Please buy this game. I have put the links to both the itch.io and the Steam page for the game in my descriptions on each video. And just wow. I don't know what Rachel is doing. Actually, I've spoken with Rachel about what she wants to do next, but I don't know what it'll be exactly, and nothing's been announced. But I know Josh is currently working on another visual novel with one of the other studios that he's part of. Josh is the director of Highway Blossoms as well. That's the game he's most known for, I believe. And damn it, I can't remember what the game was called now, but it's like it's also a bit, it's also focused like on it's focused on an American setting and stuff like that, like Highway Blossoms was, unlike this, which was not. I wish I could remember what the game was called now, because I would have been able to like do a little promo for it then, but maybe I will remember it when I record a Paranormal video. They also have some cool merch up on the Studio Élan website if you want like the official. They have couple straps for both of the couples, and they have a shirt with Abigail on it. And rumor is that the Paranormal shirt, by that I mean this one right here. Will be available to buy as well, and I sure hope so. Not just because I want to cosplay Tara, but because it's a really cool shirt. Like seriously, like the whole, like the LGBT, or rather the rainbow flag, the pride colors on the UFO is like gorgeous. That's brilliant. Like it's great. Everything about Paranormal is great. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me on this, and thank you Studio Élan and everyone who made this game. I love all of you!